singing?
I was singing, "Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready." But it goes to fall in love. But I was saying, to talk to the audience again. Who sings that? Peaches and Herb, Peaches and Cream. Who sings that?
I think you do.
No, come on, the real song. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready
to fall in love. Who sings that?
Peaches and Herb.
For reals.
I think so.
But I was going, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Talk to the audience.
I am. Let's just ask them. Hey, audience, who sings that song? Let us know. Shoot us an email, skitguys.com or Facebook/skitguys.
Yes, we will say that when you get the sucker turned on. We'll do it. I think that's a great question.
Well, we recorded the whole song.
Buddy.
Yeah.
This is our 30th podcast.
That's pretty close, yeah.
Dude, last time was a marker moment for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not even ask when it was on. I went into it, dude.
I know. I had to raise the bar.
What?
I had to raise the bar.
What do you mean you raised the bar?
I had to make it more difficult for you. So
No.
that
I got emails from people saying, "Hey, you didn't say it was on. It was on. You're maturing." And I'm maturing.
You are.
I'm growing. This is growth.
You are a mature adult.
I am.
You know how I knew you were mature?
How?
Because you referred to it as maturing.
I am maturing.
I know.
How else would you say it?
I'd say mature.
I say maturing.
You say maturo. I say maturo.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with the cinnamon deep fried.
I love churros. No,
you don't. For reals. Like you would eat a churro over like a hot fudge sundae? You would eat a churro
yes, I
over
would eat
cheesecake?
A churro. No, not over cheesecake.
Over ice cream?
Yes.
Over custard?
No. Keep going.
Over key lime pie?
I don't know. I like key lime pie.
Apple pie. I'm just saying,
I would eat apple pie.
Churros would be low on the totem pole.
I don't know. I would eat a churro. If you had, hey, here's some ice cream, or here's a churro.
No.
I'd probably eat the churro.
Why?
I like cinnamon.
Sprinkle some on your ice cream, man.
Dude.
It's better, dude.
You like ice cream.
I scream for ice cream.
You love ice cream.
I love it. I'm lactose intolerant, though.
You are. You've become.
For reals.
You've become that way.
I have become that way.
Atkins diet.
You think that to you? I think it was the other diet.
Which one?
The
the lactose diet, where all you did was eat lactose.
No.
Oh.
No. What was that diet called? The Power Foods. Remember the Power Foods?
No.
The ab diet. What was that diet called?
What? The Power of 7 or something like that.
Do you remember you eat walnuts, you drink milk?
Yeah, but you did that.
I drank milk all the time when we were on that diet.
You did, that's true.
And then my body was just like, what are you doing, you crazy man?
Yeah, and now you're lactose intolerant.
Yeah, it hurts.
Have you ever taken the lactose pills?
No.
You should get some sometime.
No.
We should try them.
No.
Let's do it on the next podcast. You take...
No.
Here's what we'll do, okay?
I don't want to.
You take the lactose pills.
I don't want to.
And we'll eat a half a gallon of ice cream each.
No.
We'll wait about 30 minutes and then do the podcast.
No.
If you make it through the podcast without having to use the restroom...
You will give me money?
No. We would just know that the pills worked.
No. I'm not going to do that. No.
Okay, audience, let us know if you'd like us to do that.
Of course you're going to say yes. I want to see if Eddie... poops his pants.
Buddy. Do you
what?
You don't know our audience.
I love our audience.
Think they would do that to
I love our audience.
Well, why do you think they would do that to you?
You suggested it in a manner of...
I manipulated them.
Yes. Hey, we'll eat ice cream, and then we'll see if he
I use my evil powers of manipulation.
Stomach cramps.
Okay, so podcast. We should probably start.
Well... Turn it on. Let's do this.
It is. We're almost 5 minutes into
it. Yeah, goodness.
We are.
Gracious.
Here's the beauty of our podcast. We're 5 minutes in, and we've said nothing.
I love it. But you know what? We are going to talk about some stuff.
We're talking, kids.
We're
talking,
Audience. We have spent the whole summer traveling for the most part.
We have. And right now we're in Panama City Beach, Florida.
Woohoo!
It's very nice. It's not oily.
It's not. It's
No,
great.
yeah.
It's great. We're at the Big Stuff camps.
Doing some big stuff camps.
We like Big Stuff camps.
We love big stuff camps.
We've
Lots of fun.
been in a lot of places, though. A
Yeah.
lot of places this summer.
Yep.
Seen a lot of people.
Seen
Met
a lot of people.
met a lot of audience members.
And technically, the summer's not over. We've still got some stuff in Dallas this weekend. We're going out to Orange County, California in a week or two.
Yeah. We're crazy like that. We're crazy
like a fox.
People want to laugh.
Yeah, they do.
People call up Skit Guys, 1-877 Skit Guys. How may I help you?
Yeah.
Hi, can I get Skit Guys? Come make me laugh.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
You know, I read one time somewhere, I can't remember where, that laughter is good medicine.
Oh, it's in the Bible, Tommy.
Whatever.
It's in the Bible.
Whatever.
Laughter is like good medicine.
I don't think
it's
so.
good for the soul.
I don't think so.
Isn't that crazy?
What's that?
When people come up to you after a show and go, I needed to laugh tonight. Thank you so much. I needed that.
Or they say, I needed to laugh tonight, and I didn't. So thanks for nothing.
Oh, I've never heard that one, T.
I have.
Oh, really?
I have.
I think are you lying?
Yes.
Yes. The Bible talks about lying.
But you're just blaming the Bible for everything tonight, aren't you?
Maybe so.
Man.
But we're going to talk about comedy tonight.
Well.
Because people always ask us, T,
Yeah.
hey, how do you come up with your stuff?
And we say, we make it up.
We make it up,
Yeah.
But what's kind of like the dynamics of comedy? How do we come up with our stuff? What's the, do you have any, do you ad lib everything? Do you write everything out? Well, what are those things? So I thought, audience, if you don't mind, if you're okay with it, the 12 of you that listen, I think there's 13 now. I think, there's 13
because of Leo.
Yeah, so we got Leo.
Yeah,
Leo. We met Leo in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Was it New Orleans?
Yeah.
Leo came up going, I'm a audience member. He was shaking.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
I
so
like
cool.
Leo. I'm a Leo fan.
Me too.
If Leo had a podcast, I'd listen to it.
You'd listen to the Leo podcast?
I don't know. I just kind of said that.
I
don't listen to anybody's podcast.
Tim was working our table.
Timmy, and
Leo went up to Tim, goes, "You're Tim, aren't you?" And Tim's like,
Yeah.
He knew him from the podcast.
And he was asked about Brian.
Yep.
He said to tell Brian that we love doing live with him.
Yeah, and tell him if it wasn't for those videos, we wouldn't have videos. So thank you, Brian.
Yep. We love Brian.
We love doing live with Brian.
Love Tim.
And we love doing live with our audience members.
There's other people, too.
Oh, there's Carissa Fishbeck.
Carissa, if anybody ever called and
1-877 Skit Guys.
Yeah, and came and wanted to be a part, wanted us to come to their event.
You talk to Carissa.
She takes care of us.
She's awesome.
Yeah, and then there's Carrie.
Carrie Varnell. She's in some of our videos.
She is. She's great.
And she's also the script supervisor. If you have scripts, you turn them into Carrie. She looks over them.
She's great.
And she sets up authors.
Yeah, she's in your Meet the Sanders videos. She plays your wife in Meet the Sanders videos.
She's very funny. She goes to my church.
Yep. There is Jonathan Matlock.
He works our webpage.
Yep. He's the
Great
master
guy.
of skitguys.com.
Yes, that's where you can find everything, see everything, thanks to Mr. Jonathan. So, yeah, a lot of great people that help us out.
Angie Woodard.
Yes.
She's our financial person.
She takes care of all the books.
She does.
She lets everything seem right so we don't get sued.
There you go.
Yeah. Or lawyers come and get us. Or,
yes.
The IRS knocking on our door going, hey, you skit guys. Is that the lawyer?
Yeah.
Is that the IRS guy?
IRS here. I need to talk to you about your numbers.
Oh, okay, what's the matter?
How come you didn't report any gross earnings?
Well, I think it's all...
How can an earning be gross? It's very nice.
I know. An earning is nice, isn't it?
It's not gross.
Yeah, GROSS.
Whatever.
That's crazy talk.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's crazy talk.
So where were we?
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about comedy.
Funny.
We've been doing a lot of comedy 1-hour shows. Been doing a lot of 1-hour shows.
Yeah, and it's been fun.
It's been fun.
It's been a blast.
We've really, and we can't tell you our it's kind of like the Colonel's secret recipe. Those 11 spices and herbs. Audience members, we sat down on the plane and we did a blueprint. We did a recipe of what a comedy hour should look like.
Probably towards the beginning of the summer.
And we've been experimenting with it, and I think we have a secret recipe.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of cool.
That doesn't mean everyone will like it.
But
because everyone doesn't like Colonel Sanders' special recipe.
Well, true.
But you know what? It's working.
It's working.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, there's a good flow. I mean, it's more intentional, I think.
Yes.
Yes. As far as getting laughs and figuring out what those laughs are.
Right.
And where they come from.
Yes.
Comedy.
Because you want to make people laugh.
You want to make them laugh.
What did who was it? Chevy Chase? What did he say about movies and laughing?
Oh, there's at least in any good movie, there's at least 12 times you laugh hard.
12, and so a movie is like 90 minutes long.
Right.
So that's like a laugh every 7.5 minutes.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
A good movie. Okay, audience members, think about this. Any movie that you sit with your friends and you watch and you laugh or just means something to you, I mean, you probably laugh at least 12 times.
So in an hour-long show that we do, we would hope people would laugh at least 10 times.
Well, I listened when Chevy Chase said that, and I thought about our hour-long show.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've never really counted, but, I mean, there's hard laughter, I would say, maybe every 45 seconds.
Right, but you go, if what he said was the standard,
yeah,
if you get 10 good hard laughs, you've had a good show.
You've had a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because what we do, because it's not a movie,
right.
I mean, you've got to have more laughs.
You have to.
You have to.
Because there's no cinematography.
No.
Or music.
No, or sets.
Right.
Or catering services.
I wish we had catering.
I know.
I get hungry.
I do too. Up there.
Yeah.
Don't you wish you could just stop and go and take a little intermission?
And have some of Colonel Sanders'
secret recipe.
Original recipe.
Oh, Colonel.
Oh.
Did you know? Here's something crazy about the Colonel.
Bring it.
Little rabbit trail.
I like to call him Colonel.
You have no idea.
Yes, Colonel Sanders.
He is the Colonel.
Yeah.
Really didn't start until like his 60s.
Crazy.
Is that the Colonel didn't really start Kentucky Fried Chicken until his 60s.
I'm going to do that.
Late 50s, 60s.
I'm doing it.
Well, you're already really doing something right now, T.
No, at 60.
You're going to start
I'm going to open
chicken.
a tofu chicken shop.
And when he wasn't traveling somewhere promoting Kentucky Fried Chicken, he'd go into a Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant and, like, want to work.
Chicken.
Bake chicken.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he would, like, they'd be like,
he just loved it.
Oh, the Colonel's here. The Colonel's here.
Don't you know when that door opened up and he came in his white suit with his goatee and his cane?
Oh,
there was people in the back just going, brrr.
Oh, no.
I have to go potty.
The Colonel's here.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, get the flour. Get the flour. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's been crazy just us doing this. Doing our shows.
Fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
It really has.
It's been fun looking at the Facebook Skit Guys page and looking at people commenting on the skits or when they Twitter. I mean, it's just so amazing.
Which, by the way, Podience, if you're a Podience member and you haven't become a member on our Facebook page, please come join us.
Yes.
At Facebook/Skit Guys.
And I really do believe more and more that is part of doing life with one another.
Yeah.
I mean, we read your Facebook, we read the Twitters. I mean, that is us doing life with you, and you listen to our podcast, that's us doing life with you. I mean, that's kind of the encouragement, kind of like Barnabas in the Bible.
You're exactly
he was an
right.
encourager to Paul.
And a detective.
He was
Barnabas Jones.
No,
I remember.
It was Barnaby.
Buddy Epson played
Buddy
him.
Epson played Barnaby Jones.
Right. That's what I said.
You said Barnabas.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about.
Don't.
I do. Do you remember seeing him in Dana Point?
I saw him in Dana Point.
But we both
did.
We got through running in Dana Point, California.
That was when I was doing my life plan.
Is that when you were doing your life plan?
Yeah.
Well, it paid off.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
I know.
I'm being serious.
I know.
And Buddy Epson, he had two people kind of flanking him.
He was old, man.
He was old, kind of jittery. Yeah, he wasn't. Man. He wasn't. Jed.
He was going to be the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz.
Well, he couldn't.
I know.
Because the
allergic
stuff.
reaction to the makeup.
Yeah.
But then he became
Jed
on
Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Barnaby Jones.
Yeah, Barnaby, not Barnabas.
Whatever.
You know it's true.
I know. His real name was Barnabas. He just went by Barnaby. Just like my real name's Thomas, and I go by Tomini.
You don't.
Yep.
You don't.
Do too.
Well, comedy. What's your take on comedy?
Well, first of all, we've got to go back in time, Mr. James.
Like we got to get in like a time travel thingy-mabopper?
I've got one.
Set the engine.
I've got one, but it's got a couple of glitches. Last time I used it, I had trouble getting back, so we're not going to do that. All right?
Fine.
So anywho, you go back to ancient Greek, and the actual...
E tu Bruto?
See. The actual pronunciation was...
Of comedy?
Yes. Was comede.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, comede.
No, it wasn't.
Look it up. Wikipedia. It's there. Comede.
Greek,
and it's where we get our word.
No.
Hear me on this. It is where we get our word coma. komede, because the Greeks in their theater, as they would do theater in the round, their komede was so funny that people would laugh until they passed out, and they would say, "Oh, they're in a coma."
No, you just made that whole thing up.
Dude, I couldn't just make that up.
You did.
That's impossible. I read it on Wikipedia.
You did not read it on Wikipedia.
I Wikipedia did it.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You did
you
not,
can't prove
dude.
it.
I can't prove it.
No, you can't.
If there was internet in this place,
and there's not, so you
so
can't prove
I
it.
will.
Komede.
I will. Audience members, please. I'm sorry.
You'll be embarrassed.
Don't buy into that.
You're embarrassing yourself with your
No.
lack of knowledge.
It was called
komede.
Greek. They were Greek tragedies. They were Greek comedies. They didn't go.
No.
I've never heard in my philosophy class or my English class.
Yeah.
Hey, class, open your books to 292 as we study a Greek comedy.
No, because it was tragedy tomorrow, komede tonight.
No, it wasn't.
There's a whole song about it.
No, it's
Yes,
comedy
there is.
tonight.
That's what I said.
Something familiar.
Something peculiar.
Something for everyone.
A comedy tonight.
No, a comedy?
In
No,
the original
no,
Greek, it was.
no.
We don't.
Oh,
you don't read
oh,
your New Testament in Greek. You read
okay.
it in English.
So everything else, something familiar,
no,
something peculiar.
in the original song, it was done in Greek. I don't know those Greek words though.
Okay,
I just know komede.
it's not comedy.
Why are you fighting me on this?
Okay, well, tell me, who are some of your favorite comedians?
Apollos, Starbuck.
Okay, they were from Battlestar Galactica, the original series and the newly revised series. Apollo and Starbuck.
Your lack of Greek history is appalling.
All right.
Homer.
Huh?
Homer. Yes.
Homer Simpson?
No, Homer from Greek.
From the
He
Odyssey?
wrote, yeah.
Yeah, there was nothing funny about that.
Have you read it?
Have you read it?
I ask you first.
Oh, never mind, dude.
See, you don't know.
You haven't read it. Homer,
You don't know.
Homer the Odyssey is not a comedy.
You don't know.
I do know.
How do you know?
I do know.
You didn't read it.
I did not read it, but I know it's not. Homer the Odyssey is based on what so many movies and scripts and dramas and action.
I had to get a copy of it in one of my classes in college.
And you didn't.
I got the copy.
But it just sat somewhere.
My friend read it and gave me a synopsis.
Whatever.
It was in a humanities class.
Okay. But they're not comedies. They're not comedies.
Okay, then you tell me about comedy. Okay? I've shared with you everything I know about komede.
I have gathered lots of little tidbits over the past year in case we ever did talk about comedy.
Well, Uncle Remus, spin a tale for us
Uncle,
on komede.
No, these are just little audience. You may not be interested at all in this. I mean, you may not be wanting to know the science or the breakdown of comedy.
I'm interested. You bring it. Bring it.
Okay, let me ask you this. What's an embarrassing moment that you've had? Oh, I got an embarrassing moment for you today. I don't even know if it was embarrassing for you today. Okay, we're in the elevator.
Today?
Yeah, today. We're in the elevator going to the camp, and there's a bunch of women and kids in the elevator, and it's really hot.
Yeah.
And you said, "Oh my, it feels so sultry in here."
I know that because that means hot.
Sultry?
Yeah.
Sultry means like passionate.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, sultry.
No,
yes.
it doesn't.
Yes.
That can't be right.
Yes, sultry, hot, sultry.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
And number one.
So we do have internet in here?
Yeah, I do. I just didn't tell you. Number one, of the air or weather, hot and humid.
Sultry.
Number two, of a person, especially a woman, attractive in a way that suggests passionate nature. But did you hear the number one? Did you hear the number one?
I think we all go
hot
with number two.
and humid.
I don't think anyone steps outside and goes, "Oh, it's so sultry out today."
Audience, I'm going to have to ask you to chime in on that one because Hey, so are you saying we should dumb down our language for the rest of society?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
So what I used was appropriate language.
It was appropriate, yes, but I think for most of us, when we hear the word sultry, it means number two with a woman.
Because you have a dirty mind.
No, I don't.
So where's the embarrassing moment? It's you right now.
Okay. Do you have any embarrassing moments?
I've got a ton.
Tell me one.
There was the time my fly was open in front of 1,000 people on stage.
Funny. That was funny,
There
dude.
was the time I was doing
so
the Adkins
funny.
diet, and I broke wind on stage, and it wafted into about the third or fourth row of the audience.
I will never forget this. He was on the Atkins diet, and which is just a bunch of protein in your body with no carbs. And for Tommy, that's like
not good.
That's like a boll weevil dying
That's
inside.
not
you.
good.
That's like a small.
Like pouring kerosene on a fire to put it out.
And you tooted.
Yeah.
Toot doesn't even know.
Wait, don't say anything else though, because it was really bad.
What you did was like something died.
Yes,
and
I confess that
the audience was only like a few feet away.
Now, I do want to add this was probably 12 years ago.
Was it 12 years ago?
Yeah, I would think
Golly,
so.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a college audience.
And the girls, I remember there were 3 girls right in the center of the front row, and they're laughing and they're smiling,
yeah.
and they're kind of, waiting in anticipation of what are these 2 guys going to do. And all of a sudden, the look on their face was like...
It was one of the rare times that I started laughing on stage.
Yes, because you realized
it was funny.
That was you.
Yeah.
You did that.
Yeah.
And it stank.
But nobody said anything, so nobody really knew it was me.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. Well...
That's just a few. There's tons of times that I've just open mouth, insert foot.
Yeah, I do that a lot too. Mine always turn out to be racial or something. I don't mean it to, but it always seems to.
No, my favorite was just about a week ago.
A week
We
ago?
were walking back to the hotel, and this sweet girl comes walking by, and you go, "Hey, buddy."
Oh.
Because she did have short hair.
And she had a cap on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I love those moments.
Oh.
Anyway, why do you ask?
Well, I was collecting little articles.
Yeah.
And, it's funny when people call us comedians because I don't, I always think of a stand-up comedian as a comedian.
Yeah,
but,
Jeff Foxworthy or something like that.
Yeah, and you just go, but that's what we do. We make people laugh. We try to anyway, We do
situational comedy.
We do skits.
Right.
Yeah, situational comedy.
I think that's what they call it in the biz.
Situational comedy?
Uh-huh.
They call it skit situational comedy.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't that be like a sitcom? A situational comedy?
Uh-huh.
Not a skit.
What is a skit? A sitcom?
A sitcom is 22 minutes without commercials.
You are going to argue with me on everything tonight.
No, I'm not.
Read your article.
No, I'm not.
No, read your article. I'll look up what situational comedy is.
Okay, all right.
Read your article.
God, it's so sultry in here.
It is. It's not either. It's cold. Oh, wait. It's cold. That means you're referring to me. Now I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, this is from Mel Brooks. Embarrassing moment. This is so great. Mel Brooks, he's a comedian.
Yes.
Been around forever. Wrote some great movies. Wrote the producers. Just he's an amazing genius. But he writes that in 1966 he was on this game show called I Guess with Bill Cullen. He was the host, and he didn't win. And he talks about after the show is over, he starts walking toward the podium to say goodnight to Bill, to thank him for having him on. Bill starts coming towards Mel Brooks across the stage, and this is what he says. And I don't know what he's doing. His feet are flopping. His hands are flying everywhere. He's doing this kind of wacky walk of the unfortunate that Jerry Lewis used to do. So I figured, hey, I'll join him. I start doing this multiple sclerosis walk, flapping my arms and doing the Milton Berle cross legs, my own Jerry Lewis impression. And now I had no idea that when Bill Cullen was a kid, he suffered from polio, and he was left very badly crippled. But nobody ever knew because he was always there behind that podium. It was 6 feet tall. You just saw his head.
Oh.
And he says, like, there was a co-star on it with him going, no, he's crippled, Mel, stop. And he goes, I didn't even hear. Finally, we meet in the middle. We hug, and he says to me, you're the only comic who's ever had the nerve to make fun of my crippled walk. Everyone's so careful. It makes me feel even worse. And I realize, oh my, this guy really is crippled. It was my worst moment, and if he weren't me, probably the funniest thing that ever happened.
Oh, man.
Isn't that funny?
That is
Can you imagine
hilarious.
Television?
And sad. It's both. You know what I'm saying? But yes, hilarious.
But
because
Bill
what he said was, if you're me, it's the worst moment ever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anybody else, and it's hilarious. And it is. And by the way, you're right on situational comedy. So we're
Sitcom.
1-on-1. I won one, you won one. We're even right now. Okay?
I would say 1.5 for old Eddie because sultry.
You know what? You're
Sultry.
right. You're a good loser. Okay, so speaking of things that are speaking of things
I've
that
never
are
heard sultry used as a way to describe.
as its original definition.
Yes, yeah. To be honest with you, yes.
Okay, I'm
but
just saying.
but you know what? I may be the minority on that.
No, you're not.
I may be on the minority.
I think you're totally right.
And I give you props and I give you credit.
And well, you gave me half a point. But
and
here's
half
the
a
deal.
point.
Okay?
You're using
Here's
it in the
deal.
right
Okay.
terminology. Yes.
But you talk about that, and the Mel Brooks story. It reminds me of a situation where we were younger, much younger, in college, and we were doing a show because we used to do Hans and Franz. Stole it from Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
And there was
right.
a time where we were saying, hey, everybody, go get your jump ropes because we had this whole bit, and
they wore muscle suits.
Yeah, and they didn't have their jump ropes because they weren't supposed to.
Right. That was our bit. That was our gimmick.
Right.
That was
and
our shtick.
There was one time where we were saying that, and everybody's laughing, and this one girl's just sitting there staring at us.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what
yeah,
it
yeah.
happens is, when an audience member doesn't respond, you start to feel, and I say you, I mean we, however you want to say it, we feel insecure. Why is this person not responding? Why are they not laughing?
But we've learned better now.
Well, we've learned, yes, because of trial and error.
Yes.
And this poor girl's sitting there, and she's not
She's
responding
not getting
at
her
all.
comedy, Tommy.
Not at all.
She's not getting the comedy.
And so, Mr. James, at this point, it wasn't the Skit guys. At this point, I think it was J.W. and Company.
Yeah, James and Woodard and our cast of characters.
Yes. So, Mr. James, you speak up and go, what is wrong with you? Are you deaf?
Are you deaf?
And it just sucks the air out of the room. I mean, it's just like...
Yeah. And that was probably one of my first moments of, okay, something just shifted. Something's not right. Something's not right in Denmark. Because you're the actor.
Yeah, so I'm just doing my
and
thing.
I guess from even back then, I've always listened to the audience. I'm always more of a director. I'm always thinking, always figuring out where to go.
And I'm not sure if there is an audience all the time. Sometimes it's really just you and me in my head. And so you're sitting there looking, and the guy standing next to her goes, She's deaf.
She is deaf.
And you just don't recover from that.
Oh, how can you?
No, you don't.
I just remember going, all right, all right.
And what you really want to say is, thank you for having us. We're going to leave quietly.
What? We don't need that gas money.
No, you keep it.
Or the chicken dinner. You keep it. God bless you. God bless you. Yeah.
So, I mean, it happens, though. But you know what?
That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing, but it's comedy.
Yes.
Because, I mean, isn't that comedy,
Someone said comedy, dying is easy, comedy is hard.
Oh, yeah.
When we do drama workshops, I always ask, what do you think is easier, drama or comedy? And drama is easy.
Drama's easy.
Because you can talk it.
Yeah.
What's so amazing to me Tommy, and I guess it's just feeling comfortable in our own skin now as far as writing comedy and doing things like that, but you just go... Like in my head when we're writing something or we're working something out, you can almost hear the audience laugh.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like it's just like this thing to go, okay, I think they're going to laugh at that. I think that may be questionable. That could be cheesy if it's not done right.
Yeah.
But I think that is a laugh. I think,
Yeah. I hear a lot of things in my head.
I know you do. That's what makes you great.
Thanks.
That's what makes you great.
I wish they'd stop. But you know what? You're right. You do, and then what happens is you write it, and then you read through it, and then you start thinking about, okay, who's my audience? And this is where you're really good, because especially when we're making videos, we'll have a script, and we may feel really good about it, and it could be day of recording, and we're doing it, and you'll stop and go, wait a second, guys. There's going to be a grandma in Tecumseh, Illinois, that this could offend. We need to be careful, Yeah. And you're great at it. I'm okay. I kind of get it. My deal is I get it sometimes, and sometimes I don't really care. And then Brian Cates, who's the third Skit guy, really.
He's just artistic.
He doesn't care at all about that poor grandma.
He just wants to make a movie.
He wants to make a movie.
He
would make him laugh and offend the grandma. Yes.
Yeah. And, lately, too, and I guess because we've been, and audience members, and we have a job because of you guys. I mean, bottom line,
sure.
we have a job because you guys come to our shows. You guys watch us online. You guys download our videos. We have a job because of you guys.
Yep.
That is the bottom line. And so that's very humbling, to go, wow. I mean, these roles that we've been given, we never set out to be skit guys, but you go, okay, how can I do my very, 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 very best in these roles that we've been given,
Yep.
And I think about when we were youth ministers. I think about those times in high school when we did do skits.
Yep.
It's like all these things have culminated to our jobs now.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
The way I look at it is God was just grooming us to do what we do,
Yeah.
And even though you try so hard because you don't want to offend. You really don't, you know. And that's the hard thing about doing comedy and doing clean comedy is because comedy is an exageration of real life.
Yeah.
And so inevitably somebody's going to be offended, even though you try not to.
Yeah. Someone Twittered. Someone Twittered. We're doing a conference, and someone Twittered. I don't know if.
Yeah, If he referred to us as those potty mouth skit guys,
foul mouth skit guys.
Yeah. And here's what's really a bummer. This is what stinks. Is that hurts?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to be all like, it doesn't matter what he says, but it hurts. I don't you know. I mean, and then I get mad, and I want to find out who it is, and I want to Twitter back to him and say, "Oh, you judgmental." Pastor. He was some pastor somewhere, you know? But that's okay. He was just speaking his mind, and I'd love to be able to talk to him and understand where he's coming from. You know?
And think about this, T. Like, comedy in the church. I mean, we did a camp for 2 weeks in a row in Oklahoma.
Yep.
In front of 5,000 people per week.
Right.
We were the camp speakers.
The camp pastors, yeah.
The camp pastors. And we did skits.
Yeah.
Now, 6 years ago at that same camp, they wouldn't let us do anything in the evenings, just mornings.
Yeah.
And they asked us not to do skits, but just preach.
Yeah.
So think about just the evolution process of comedy within the church. I mean, every year we're building credits and trust. Mm-hmm. And it's, we joke about, we're the old guys. The older we get, the more trust we build.
Yeah.
And you go, that just blows me away to even the evolution process to go, churches are pretty used to cheesy stuff. And so we are on that line a lot to go, is this edgy? Is this funny? Is this clean?
Yeah.
Will this offend? And I think we always have to stay on that line.
You have to. Well, you don't want to lose the trust that you've been given.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't want to lose the trust you've been given. And, I think I said this to you today, and you don't want to be like The Tonight Show.
Right.
And I really do mean that. Like I go, there's really nothing funny about Jay Leno and The Tonight Show.
Unless you're 50 or older.
And you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who were comfortable with Johnny Carson.
Right.
Who would turn on the television to watch Johnny and his friends come on and just talk before they went to bed and got a little laugh.
But it was racy.
Sure.
At that point, he was pushing the envelope.
Yeah. And then it really turned into, hey, we're going to push our wares, we're going to sell our movies, and even Jay's interviewing style or his skits. I mean, it's very programmed, it's very mechanical, And so you go, I never want to be the Tonight Show.
Right.
I want to, like, I watch Jimmy Kimmel and I go, he's so creative.
Oh, he's funny.
He's turned late night on its head, just going, okay, we've never done this, this never been, and I go, we got to keep figuring that out in skits.
Yeah.
We got to keep figuring that out in comedy. What are those things we haven't done and not get comfortable, even though we've built a base of people that go, we really like the skit guys.
Yeah.
Not to alienate that audience, but how do you keep being relevant?
Yeah.
And
hopefully we'll figure that out.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
All right, talk to me some more about your clippings.
Well, Tina Fey, this would go along with what we've just been talking about.
She's a great writer.
Tina Fey said about comedy.
Yeah.
Don't be too precious or attached to anything you write.
Well, yeah.
Let things be malleable. For sketch writers, remember they are called sketches for a reason. They're not called oil paintings. Some of them are going to stink. You have to let them stink.
Yeah. You can always erase a sketch. You know what I'm saying? Like a drawing that is sketched out.
Yeah.
You can always erase it and make changes to it, but you can't with an oil painting.
Yeah, they can't.
That's a great illustration.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. That reminds me, too, of a time years ago when we were doing a drama workshop. And we were teaching it, and there was another drama group there. I don't even remember them, but or their name or anything. But we said to the audience, because this is what we believe, if you're using one of our scripts, feel free to change it as much as you want to so that it connects with your audience. They were offended enough by that statement that they felt they needed to stand up and say, we disagree with that. And then they used the term that they gave birth to their scripts, which, just, in a very respectful way, I go, that's silly, because apparently there was a woman and a man. She'd apparently never given birth before, because I think it's much harder to give birth than it is to write a skit. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. You can't be that. Hold on to it.
No, but nobody can download a script and just do it as is. You should get a red pen and go, this doesn't work for our audience.
Yeah.
This doesn't work. This doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, like when we do shows and stuff, if for some reason a skit isn't hitting, and maybe it's the denomination, there's so many factors that go into trying to do comedy, even with clean comedy, go, what are those things? If it didn't work, and you change it up, you try to figure out what is going to connect with this crowd.
You gots to.
Did you ever see Seinfeld's documentary?
Comedian?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, where they followed him and they also followed up-and-coming comedian.
It's fascinating.
And just the two lives they lead when it comes to comedy.
Yep.
And I mean, all the comedians are in there, but what's so funny is like hearing Chris Rock sit with Jerry Seinfeld going, Did you hear Bill Cosby?
Yeah.
He did an hour and a half just sitting down.
Just sitting down.
And it was all clean.
You know what's crazy about that is, like, I can't sit and do much of anything because there's zero energy. When you're on stage, sitting down, zero energy. Yeah. And Bill Cosby doesn't just sit. He reclines. I mean, that dude is just like lean back with a microphone hanging, and you're laughing your tail off.
Audience, if you want to get some friends together and, just enjoy the value of laughter.
Yeah.
Get Bill Cosby himself.
Oh, so good.
It's timeless. It stands the test of time.
Yeah.
And it really is just him on a stage with a chair for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's funny.
And the only set is lights.
Yep.
And they change colors behind him.
Yeah.
The things that he says are so hilarious.
So good.
And Chris Rock said it. He's clean.
He's clean. That's what he said. Chris Rock said he wasn't funny enough to be. Like, Chris Rock said of himself, he wasn't funny enough to be clean.
That's why he cusses.
That's why he cusses.
Yeah.
But he said people like Bill Cosby. At this point, he also said Will Smith, because Will Smith had at that point Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was still on. Said those guys are great because they're funny and they're clean.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And you look at that and you go, I mean, we've always talked about, I'd love to do a comedy club.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be easier because everyone would be drunk.
Yeah.
It could
be.
They'd be drinking.
I think it'd be a little scary, though, too.
It would be scary, but you think if you can get an audience to laugh.
Yeah.
That's the thing about comedy clubs is they start making them drink.
Yeah.
So they can get loosened up to laugh, you know? But you think about what we do. There's been nothing, and you go, what a great training ground.
Yeah.
If you ever were to be out there, someone asked us that question because we're doing this question and answer time now.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
In our shows. Well, hey, you got any questions? And someone asked us that. It was so great because they had no concept of who we were.
Yeah.
But they came to one of our late night shows and they're like, so.
It was at the National Gathering in New Orleans.
New Orleans. And what did he say? He goes,
He said, how are you guys received on the circuit?
Yeah. So he's thinking, we're out there. In Comedy Central and, just different improv clubs and stuff like that.
Right.
And we really just do churches,
Yeah.
But what a great compliment. But, we have enough stuff that has no spiritual meaning, like Mr. Bootsy or the newscast or...
Mr. Bootsy is on skitguys.com now.
Mr. Bootsy is on skitguys.com.
Yeah.
You guys should go watch it.
It's funny.
Because that skit used to be called...
Run Over Dog. Yeah, Run Over Dog.
What an evolution that was. But it really was going, okay, how can you make this funny?
Yeah.
But so you have enough stuff. If you did go in a comedy club, I would love just to see what kind of, wouldn't that be great if you could do your thing for a crowd like that, and they go back home and they go, I'm going to just type in skitguys.com.
Okay, let's just throw it out there. Audience members, if any of you have a connection to a comedy club and you'd like us to come and do that sometime, contact us and let us know.
That is swinging for the fences,
I just threw it out there.
Thomas Lee Woodard.
You like that?
Thomas Lee Woodard is one thing to talk about. It is another thing to swing for the fences.
I just threw it out there.
I just peed a little.
I put it in the lap of our audience members.
No, sir.
And don't contact us if you know of one. Not like, I know where there's a comedy club. We're familiar with where comedy clubs are. Just if you have connections. If you're like, my Uncle Gerald does, he might have you, or something like that.
Well, and we still get emails because people download all our podcasts all at once. They listen to them like during the day, type thing,
which is crazy.
But one email that one podcast is swinging for the fences, and what a crazy year it's been because we have swung for the fences in so many different areas.
Crazy.
And I still look at a year like a school year, still to this day, and I don't know, just because of high school ministry and just being a youth minister, and what we do is so susceptible to that. But you just go, what a crazy year
it has been.
What a wonderful year it's
fantastic.
been. Yeah.
Who gets to do what we get to do?
Who gets to do what we get to do?
I am right now so tired of traveling. I'm so tired of being away from my family.
Yeah.
I still love what we get to do.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
There's something it's a God thing when you
is.
get up there. When you get on a plane, you're going, my legs hurt, my back hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live out of a suitcase.
Oh.
And then you get on that stage, and it's just like, boom.
Magic.
I don't get it.
It's magic.
I just don't get it.
I know.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Like when I'm old and gray, these will be the things that I go, wow.
You'll miss me.
Oh, well, we'll be sitting right by each other, buddy.
No.
I will be stirring your Metamucil, saying, drink this. You need to drink this, Thomas, because there is something in you that's died, and we've got to get it out.
Is that what Metamucil does?
Yeah, it clears you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, buddy, you're not going to get rid of me.
No. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I think it's quite possible that I will pass away at an earlier age.
Stop it.
Tragic spaghetti accident.
Dude, Podians, where did you say that at? That was just.
I just said it right now. In a tragic spaghetti accident.
Okay. Yeah, you said about one of our late nights. You go, hey, go out there and buy our DVDs. This will be the last night we're going to be here because we could get on a plane and crash and die.
We could.
Oh my!
You
goodness.
know that's true.
That was just a bad.
Have you not resigned yourself to the fact that we're probably going to die in a plane crash?
What are you doing, dude?
I'm just saying. I'm just resigning myself to that.
Stop that.
So now, have you noticed whenever we hit turbulence and stuff, it doesn't affect me?
Dude.
No. Let's have this talk seriously.
Dude, you've gone from.
Have you noticed that?
Improv clubs.
Wait, answer my question. Have you noticed that I don't get jittery whenever the plane starts shaking?
I guess. I don't know.
Because I've just decided, yeah, it's probably how it's going to happen. So when it starts shaking, in my mind, I automatically go into, well, I guess this is it. It's been a good ride.
I read from a pilot, a veteran pilot, that said most plane crashes don't happen from turbulence.
So why do you get nervous when it happens?
Because it's just that immediate. You're talking. You feel that. Dang! You're like, oh, golly. Oh, boy. I think I'll always do that.
I don't think it's going to be. I think it really is going to be a tragic spaghetti accident.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'll still love you, and I'll still...
Will you speak fondly of me?
Oh, gosh, yeah, buddy.
But
yeah,
you will no longer eat Italian food.
I don't eat Italian food now.
Oh, already out of respect. That's so nice.
Sultry.
You got another one?
Sultry, yeah.
I am. Thank
you.
So
we did a big rabbit trail, but comedian, great to watch. If you,
if you're an adult, it's got. I mean, we need to preface that.
Yeah,
because we have kids
there's
that
cuss
listen to our
words and stuff
too.
like that. Yeah. If you are a college student or older, but you go, I like comedy. I like to write. It's a great. I mean,
it's fascinating
if
documentary.
If I was a teacher, that would be one. Especially if I was doing like comedy and something like that. It's a great.
Right, but not if you were a junior high teacher.
No, I couldn't.
Or even a high school teacher.
Because of the cussing and stuff.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But isn't it amazing? And I don't know if this is just the beauty of the innocence of a child or what have you. But you think about, like, I said to my kids, hey, let's watch Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yeah.
Jim, they'll love it. He's so animated, you know, and everything. And we went on Google to try to find a clip, you know, to go, you know, let me see what it's like.
Yeah.
And it's nasty.
Yeah, you can't watch it.
I don't remember
with your kid.
Yeah, I don't remember that being nasty.
Yeah.
But
he talked out of his rear.
That was funny.
I know, but it's kind of nasty too.
But you
don't want your kids doing that.
Sure, but I don't remember that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Even as when we were young, whether it was watching Grease or whatever. I mean,
yeah.
I bought Joan Rivers albums. I bought Billy Crystal, Bill Cosby. I mean, I listened to Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I don't remember as a child going cuss word, cuss word, cuss word, cuss word. All I remember were the jokes.
Yeah.
I remember the laughter, and maybe that's just the innocence of a kid. I mean, I don't know, or the era. I don't really know, but
yeah. I mean, well, and you have a different moral compass now, you know, than you did. We all do than we did when we were younger.
Yeah. It didn't affect me though.
Yeah.
I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so but if you're old enough and mature enough, I guess, and it wouldn't hinder your walk with God.
Sure.
Comedian's a great look at comedy, I guess.
Yeah,
is that okay?
It's fine. I just didn't want a junior high kid or someone to go grab it and then go. Yeah. And their parents went, "Why are you watching this?" Well, the Skit guys told me to.
Yeah. Parental guidance.
Yeah, suggested. Heck
yes. Yeah. Tina Fey also said, someone once said that to make a regular person laugh, you need to dress a guy up like an old lady and push him down the stairs. To make a comedy writer laugh, you have to push a real old lady down the stairs. That's just mean.
You know what? It's true.
That's
you know what she's saying? Comedy writers are jaded.
They are jaded.
I know.
But that's what I guess what makes them comedy writers.
Right.
Judd Apatow, who I guess would be this generation's John Hughes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about all the movies Judd Apatow has made, and the significance it's made on this generation, as far as
I guess minus I just like John Hughes had such good messages.
He had great messages.
Yeah, I think Judd Apatow's movies have okay messages.
Well, most movies today don't have messages.
Yeah.
I mean, most movies today don't dip at all, which I think, you know, like Grown Ups with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
All the movies in this generation are crude humor, but you know what? We do crude stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, we go to the line on the crude stuff at times. We try to be very intentional about, okay, we'll say this, we won't do this, that type of, as far as comedy. But it gets huge laughs.
Yeah.
It gets huge laughs.
It's an easy laugh.
It's an easy laugh.
Yeah.
It's not a smart laugh. It's an easy laugh.
Right.
But Judd Apatow was talking about almost the exact same thing Tina Fey said. Comedy has everything to do with context. Anything depending on the context can be funny, and anything cannot be funny. You know what Mel Brooks said? Comedy, Mel Brooks, who so Judd Apatow is referring to Mel Brooks, saying comedy is an old lady carrying groceries, tripping and falling into a manhole. And what would tragedy be?
That old lady was your grandma.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all relative, man.
Yeah.
So true. If it's
crazy?
not you, yeah.
I cannot...
Because you naturally laugh anytime somebody falls.
Oh,
you know?
My we love watching Wipeout.
Yeah. Oh God, I love Wipeout.
And we'll rewind it and slow-mo it, and we will laugh our heads off at people going, "Oh, she fell!"
It's hilarious.
And we laugh our heads off on America's Funniest Home Videos and even the reruns.
Oh yeah,
watching people get racked.
Our family does the same thing.
Why is it so funny?
I don't know.
Why is that so funny watching somebody fall?
I think because we can relate to it.
Yeah, there's pain.
Everybody falls. Everybody, you know, and it's funny. You know, it's not at the time, but you know, later on, it's funny.
I still cannot get over that you told the audience about the comedy club.
Why? You said you wanted to do it.
Well, I did, but I wasn't ready to swing for the fences on that one.
Were you joking?
I wasn't joking. That's just scary.
Oh,
but I'm ready to do it.
Are you kidding? Let's do it.
You know what I'm thinking?
What?
Here's what the audience... Okay, comedy club.
Yeah.
Peaches and Herbs song.
Right.
Here's another one, buddy.
Right.
And I've really been thinking about this.
Okay.
And I'll just say it.
Okay, throw it out there.
Here's swinging for the fences.
Okay.
Do you
Going
think...
to the moon?
No, we can't go to the moon.
Okay.
No, we can't go to the moon.
If there's an audience member who has any connections with NASA, please let us know. Go ahead.
Here's swinging for the fences.
Okay.
Should we audition for The Amazing Race?
Oh, that's a good question. It's a big commitment on time.
It's 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or less.
I would do it.
I mean, we wouldn't be able to do shows.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be able to make videos.
Yeah.
Our families would have to sign off on it.
Oh, that'd be the hardest part. Can you imagine being gone from your family for 30 days?
No. But all of this stuff that we're talking about, what
Yeah.
we get to do, going into a nightclub,
Yeah.
doing what we do on shows. There's tons of people that sit in that audience that don't know God, you
Yeah.
know, and some of them are the hecklers that
It's true.
before the end of the show they're quiet,
Yeah.
you know, and they're laughing, you know.
Right.
But you go, how do you make the Father famous?
Yeah.
You know, how do you make God famous with what you've been given? And are those ways?
And, I mean, you talk about being gone for 30 days, but
Oh,
if it works out for us to go to the moon, that probably could take a month.
we're not going to the moon, buddy. I said The Amazing Race.
That would be amazing.
To go to the moon or
Yeah.
to run The Amazing Race?
Both.
Well, I think between the two of us, we could do The Amazing Race.
If anyone has connections to NASA, let us know.
Or tell us what you think. Should we even audition for The Amazing Race?
Or go to the moon.
Yeah.
Let's give them an option.
Okay, buddy.
Let's not try to direct them. Let's give them an option.
Okay. People do ask us, too. This is a frequent email
Yes.
from our audience is,
Yes.
Are you guys really laughing? Is Eddie really laughing?
Yes.
Are you is that stuff made up, or are you doing that on the spot, or is that part of the act? And
Right.
And it's a little bit of everything. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, if I'm laughing hard, Tommy is creating something new.
Yeah.
Even if you see our skits 3 or 4 times, it'll always be different.
Yeah. Or it may not be new. It just is still funny to you.
It's still funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's certain things you do that are just funny to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you change it up a little bit to
yeah. It
to
depends what I've eaten.
Yeah, true.
I generally don't know what's coming out of my mouth sometimes.
Which is Joan Rivers, who's in her
Can we
70s.
talk about this?
In her 70s.
Yes, I'm 70.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Hi-
still I look good.
Hi,
I have
Joan.
one more facelift. My ears are going to be touching in the back of my head. Oh,
She was one of the first. Well, I mean, Phyllis Diller, I guess, was one of the first women comedians, but
She had that great laugh.
she did.
Ah!
My parents have to put a piece of meat around my neck just for the dog to play with me.
So anyway, Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers says, still at her age, when it comes to comedy, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
She says, I go on stage every Wednesday night when I'm in New York at a little 100-seater theater. I just ad-lib, and then I go home and listen to the tape. Then I sit down and start polishing. People don't know how much work goes into it.
Wow.
You can do a joke on stage and say to yourself, this one's going to work for the next 5 years. When you find one of those, it's like an old friend. Even if it's a difficult evening, I know I can go to this joke and it's going to be all right because I know you're going to laugh.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be sitting at dinner and a friend will say something, I'll write it down. I have scraps of paper everywhere in my apartment. I mean, and that's all those things is what we do. I mean, when I read that, I go, oh my goodness, that is what we do.
Yeah, we say, you say this, I say this, you say this. We do it, and then we say what worked, what didn't work.
And, hey, if we're at a conference, we don't rehearse.
Right.
We throw it in the middle of a comedy hour.
Yeah.
And we try it out.
Yeah.
And then we grab the tape and we watch it and we go, oh, this was good. There was good laughter here. This worked. This didn't,
Well, comedy is so organic. I mean, it's really hard to rehearse.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can hope here's where somebody would laugh, but you don't really know.
It's like a comedian going to a nightclub. You have to try it out.
That's why it's Comedy.
It's not comedy, buddy.
Yeah.
It is not comedy.
You'll learn. Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, here's something, too.
Yeah.
I just think this is awesome.
Uh-huh.
We always talk about humor breaks on walls for truth dinner,
Yep.
Okay, listen to this. Someone's talking about Fred Rogers. You know Mr. Rogers?
Oh, I love Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, before he passed away. This is so amazing. The power of laughter. Okay,
Yeah.
At a Hollywood function, Fred Rogers asked his audience, people who had been rolling at the vulgar humor of Drew Carey only seconds earlier, to take precisely 1 minute and remember all those who had loved them into being. And Fred then said, "I'll time you on my watch." So the room fell silent. Within a few seconds, this guy says, I could hear sniffles in the audience. And then Fred said, sounding mystified by the experience, "Isn't that amazing?"
Man.
Isn't that crazy? I mean,
Yeah.
think about the science of just those 5 sentences.
Because unknowingly, Drew Carey was knocking down the walls. Because he got them to laugh. He knocked the walls down. And then Fred Rogers comes in,
Steps up.
and brings home the truth.
Yeah. He didn't, and Fred Rogers didn't have to say a joke.
Nope.
He didn't have to do a segue.
Yeah.
He just said, I'm going to give you a minute to think about the people that loved you enough to bring you to the point where you are right now in your life. And people, just think about the turnaround. In a minute, this guy said, who was standing off to the side, said, I heard people crying.
Yeah.
The power of laughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how we grew up.
Yep.
With the movies we watched and the television shows we watched, those things compelled us to do what we do now.
Laugh, 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 dip. Laugh, laugh.
Truth. Yeah. Here's some truth. Here's some
Well,
truth. Here's
and
some
you and I were talking about this in the car the other day. Humor breaks down walls for something to enter.
True.
And you look at a commercial, the reason that funny commercials work is they knock down the wall and then they can, boom, tell you what they want you to buy.
Go buy it.
You and I, as the Skit guys say, humor breaks down walls for the truth to enter. And that's our goal, to make people laugh so that their walls fall down, and then we can share the truth of God's Word with them.
And I take audience I take for granted sometimes until I read these emails.
Yeah.
Like we do we do skits.
Yeah.
And then you read going, you guys have such a way of teaching us about God. And sometimes I get so caught up in the concepts of trying to create skits that I forget that, there's really good nuggets of biblical truth in here.
Yep.
Somebody did ask, to what Bibles do we use? When it comes to creating our stuff? We use the Message, NIV, New Living Translation. All those.
I like the English Standard Bible, but it's not good for skits.
Yeah.
I like it to study. But we use the Message a lot. Eugene Peterson does a great job of
just putting
down it in regular language.
Yeah. So,
and we met him. Remember we
Yes, we
performed and he watched us.
Fully human, fully God.
Yeah, he came off stage and he liked it.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
That was crazy to him.
I was like, you wrote the Bible,
in modern day vernacular.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. I got on Facebook, we got this message talking about, comedy and how it's a medicine. And just as I was at IYC, one of the events we did, and you guys did your skits, just wanted to say you guys were awesome. I told my brother and sister, I was about to see the Skit guys live, and they were wanting to be with me. Even though you guys are hilarious, you honestly helped me laugh when I needed to most. I lost my dad 4 months ago at the age of 14 to a car accident. And during the event, I lost my aunt to cancer. No one knew about it. I wasn't in the mood for much of anything, especially after I lost my dad. I associated just about everything that happens to his death. But when you two were on stage, all I could think about or do was laugh. Thank you so much. And I just, she goes on, but you just go,
You don't realize what people are going through.
You have no idea who's in the audience or what they need. And it's so great that God knows what they need and gives them what they need.
And isn't it great that laughter is just as much a part of worship as singing or talking with a friend or, reading the, it's so great.
Yep.
What a great gift and what a humbling thing that, for such a time as this, what we get to do.
Yep.
God, I cannot believe you said comedy club. I don't know which would be more scary, Amazing Race or a comedy club.
Going to the moon. That'd be so much scarier.
Oh, my goodness.
If you get outside of your spaceship without a suit on, you die. Now, at a comedy club, you might fail. The Amazing Race, you might get lost, but there's always, a cameraman there and stuff.
Oh my goodness!
But if you are on your way to the moon and you get outside, or if there's like a crack in the window or something, or if you get stuck on the dark side of the moon, you can freeze.
What are you doing?
I'm just saying, there's a lot
going to
scarier. I'm just saying.
We're not going to the moon.
If anybody has a connection
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard. Brian, we have a new DVD coming out called Show Me the Funny.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it has Adam and Eve and Mr. Bootsy and Fully Human, Fully God revised.
Yeah,
and
you know what the best part is?
What?
It's the blooper reel.
That's what I was about to say. I watched the Brian put together these bloopers.
That's stuff nobody's ever seen.
Oh.
Stuff I'd forgotten about.
And it's most of the stuff like you would see on our mini movies, the things we film, not on stage.
Yeah.
But it's all the bloopers on those. And dude, I was crying laughing.
And you were in public.
No, I was not. I was at my house.
And the people were laughing at you in public, watching you laugh.
No, nobody could see me laugh. What are you talking about?
We're going to the moon. I can't believe it. I spoke it into existence.
We're not going to the moon.
But anyway, yeah,
the
blooper reel's funny.
If you get to see
so it's going to be on Show Me the Funny, right?
Yeah, okay. It's going to be on there. If you get a chance to see it, it'll make you laugh.
It's funny.
It'll make you laugh.
That's showing me the funny.
I get blown away. People saying they watch your television show. I cannot believe how many people we run into going, our family watches your show. It reminds me of the Carol Burnett show when I hear people say, we TiVo it and our family gathers around to watch it.
Yeah.
Or this one lady said, she goes, I didn't know who you guys were. And I was flipping channels and I landed on you guys and I was folding laundry and then I got sucked in watching you guys and I called my whole family and said, you got to see this.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's just the power of laughter, I guess. Yeah.
And friendship.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I won't read all this, but I won't read all this. But a comedy writer who wrote stuff for Cheers and Frasier and Taxi and the Bob Newhart Show and Mary Tyler Moore Show. I mean, he died November 10th.
Yeah.
He was a comedy genius. But he wrote. Do you remember a Mary Tyler Moore episode about Chuckles the Clown Bites the Dust?
Oh yeah, it's when Chuckles the Clown dies.
Yes,
hilarious.
And he dies because
probably one of the top 10 funny moments on TV ever
in television history. You should Google it.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
If you get a chance, audience, Google Chuckles the Clown Bites the Dust, and here's the great writing because it says that Chuckles was in a parade dressed as Peter Peanut and a rogue elephant tried to shell him. Okay? And so it was one of those moments on the sitcom where everybody goes to the funeral and the pastor is telling all the great moments of Chuckles the Clown.
Yeah.
And people are just dying laughing and you're watching people laugh in a funeral where you're not supposed to laugh.
Yeah.
And it makes you laugh. It is such a great scene. And then, he says, the pastor says, and may we never forget Chuckles giving this bit of wisdom as he says, a little laugh, a little dance, a little seltzer down your pants. And then everybody in the funeral is trying not to laugh, and you can't contain the laughter. I mean, it's just this great, great moment.
Hilarious.
But one of the characters says, and this is the quote, her name was Georgette, and she says, funerals always come too late. We take people for granted, and when they're gone, we dress in black and we cry our eyes out. Why don't we ever think to do that when they're still with us?
Yeah.
So, audience members,
do just that.
Do just that. Find something that just makes you laugh. If it's a good movie that you're gonna laugh more than 12 times in, invite some friends over and just laugh. Go with some people that you just think are just funny and hang out and drink coffee and tell stories. But find ways that just spend some time laughing.
I don't think you understood what she was saying.
No, I do. She was
talking
about
what she was saying was we should dress in black and cry now and tell people that we are sad that they're one day going to die.
No. The comedy is why don't we just dress in black and tell people how much we appreciate them now instead of later, but not crying.
I think she meant to cry.
No, I don't think
Kids,
she
I
did.
think you should put on black clothes
No.
and go cry and tell your
No.
parents
We
how
take-
much you miss them.
We take people for granted when they're gone. We dress in black and we cry our eyes out. Why don't we ever think to do that when they're still with us?
Dress in black and cry our eyes out.
Take people for granted. So I'm telling the audience members, find some friends.
Dress in
Don't
black.
just Facebook. Don't just text. Get with them. Converse with them. Invite them over to the house. And just
Dress in black and
no,
cry.
No,
You
no,
are so confused.
no.
Yes, you are.
Take time to laugh. Take time to enjoy this
Black
amazing
clothes.
playground that God has given us, and just laugh a little
Black
bit.
clothes are not good
Watch-
in sultry weather.
Watch a Skit Guys DVD.
There you go. And
know?
cry.
No.
And dress
Well,
in black.
you may cry because it may not be that funny.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to the moon.
All right,
Golly,
audience.
this is awesome.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Take care of yourselves.
See you on the dark side of the moon.
Oh my.
Bye.
Bye.